What War Thunder aircraft is worthy of the title, the best piston-engine fighter? The competition is so tight! We have the American Mustang and Bearcat, the German Messerschmitt and Ta, the Soviet Yak and La, the Japanese Shiden and Hayate, the Italian Reggiane and Fiat, and finally, the British Tempest and its colleague, the Spitfire, which seems to be a tad ahead of all the other contenders for the throne of the prop king. So why don't we take a ride in the legendary Griffon Mk.24? The name Griffon comes from its Rolls-Royce Griffon engine that can output no less than 2,150 horsepower. Near the ground, the Spitfire can reach 610 kilometers an hour, while high above, its top speed nears 780 kilometers an hour. This might not be the absolute record among all piston-engine planes, but it's very close. What's more important, though, is a combination of a powerful engine and a lightweight airframe, which results in an extraordinary climb rate of almost 30 meters per second. The Spitfire Mk.24 is one of the few prop fighters that can climb at angles exceeding 20 degrees. We'd like to note here that you shouldn't let your speed dip below 270 kilometers an hour. Where you can get really fast, though, is in a dive. The Spitfire might look fragile at first glance, but it can achieve 870 kilometers an hour in a dive with no risk of sudden aerial disintegration. Again, this is one of the best performances in its class. Speed isn't the only perk of the top Griffon. It's just as agile as its predecessors. Of course, it still doesn't mean you should duel Japanese fighters, because those birds can magically turn on the spot. But most other enemies this Spitfire can handle in just a few turns. Well, since this fighter can boast such extraordinary performance, its armament must have a glaring issue, right? Well, it doesn't! The plane has 4 20mm cannons in its wings with a high rate of fire and great accuracy, meaning it's ready for just about anything. Its total ammo pool reaches 650 rounds, which should be enough for 4 to 5 aerial victories. In air combat, the Spitfire frequently meets early jets, and those are the main obstacles. They're much faster near the ground thanks to their higher top speed, so the Mk.24 should rely on its climb rate advantage, diving at helpless victims and leaving them no chance. Another surprising trait of this Spitfire is its versatility. It can handle ground vehicles using a wide variety of bombs and rockets that you can combine into a number of loadouts. They're also pretty simple to use, thanks to the plane's excellent handling. The Spitfire Mk.24 can boast an extremely dangerous combination of traits. Even if some of its stats aren't record-breaking, they're definitely enough. So this plane excels in any task you can throw at it. The only huge flaw of the top Griffon is probably the fact that enemies often fear it and simply avoid combat, as befits a prop king.